it has been observed and noticed that during the rainy seasons, we've had a lot of overflowing of the banks. The waters do not flow easily downstream as a result of heavy siltation, wastes that accumulate at certain narrow bottlenecks that eventually restrict flow and then causes the backflow, backlogging, and then you have the water overflowing the banks, resulting in flooding.
The major aim of this project is to restore the lagoon to its former states where we have marine life. Because by dredging the lagoon, you have the sea coming in with, when there's high tide, the water will come with marine life. So by doing so, we have marine life. And also to increase the storage capacity of the lagoon, the lower lagoon and the upper lagoon, so that it will reduce the flooding in the city during the rainy season.
Yes, the major reason for floods coming at regular intervals and causing loss of life and property is basically twofold. One is this system, hydrological system, has to have capacity to contain water and let it go to sea. That is hindered because of two reasons. One is buildup of silt over the years, as well as dumping of refuse, which causes barriers at various points and doesn't allow smooth flow.
After the flooding that occurred in 2015, we procured some dredgers and earth-moving equipment to assist in the dredging. We started late November 2015. Actual dredging started in December 2015. After a survey of the whole drain and having identified certain bottlenecks and areas that needed to be immediately dredged, moving into 2016 to prevent what happened in 2015 occurring, we had to, as a matter of urgency, emergency, desilt those bottlenecks, allow water to freely flow through downstream. So with the assistance of 4 water masters, state-of-the-art dredgers, amphibious dredgers, long reach excavators, barges, and wheel loaders, we've been able to improve flow in the drain.
When we started, the channel was virtually dead. The lagoon was dead, there was no flow. Upper lagoon was also dead, there was no flow. You get to Klep, the Kole canal, it's also dead, no flow. When you get to Bayima, it was also dead. So virtually, from Aveno, the 7.5 kilometer channel was virtually dead with little flow of water.
We have to stop dumping of refuse so that we don't create barriers, artificial barriers by human refuse being dumped into it, as well as environmentally dumping refuse degrades the water quality.
We did a survey and we realized that aside the siltation, we also realized heavy human activity along the drains, as in waste disposal. You have settlements, open defecation. Added to that, you realize that we have huge islands. We have cases where you have plantation growth in the drains and mangroves, which ideally were not originally there, and a whole lot, car parts in the drains, fridges. You have people burning their waste along the drains. Activity along this drain was an eyesore. It wasn't a beautiful sight.
I've been now 15 years. Been now, but about 20 years ago. Wow, we all know me. On your work, I say, we all fine. I play to be a year by year. She can be cook woman. Look, a yard on a do a song, a tie jig, a rubber jig, a coconut caca, the big coming. Walk over island chair 1 year away.
nyumba ba nye fite leleje o edura fite man bi wa bi awon nye ambo emi cha na agaga nyumba onye enye eko le fetu mo bagbe no.
One, noticeably the human activities along the drain. It is really impacting negatively on the work.
We session the entire stretch into 8 sessions. The Avenor, the Vodafone, the Chisco, Beyima, Sequence, the Upper Lagoon, the CDB, and the Lower Lagoon. So what we did was saw the services of a survey team to do bathymetric survey to know the actual quantity of siltation in the channel.
Once we had this experience of 2015 flood and loss of life, the strategy was first to have a short-term plan to see that floods do not reoccur in 2016. For that we went for a phase 1 evacuation of all the materials from concrete and making passage for water to pass through lagoon and go to sea for 16.
We took, I think, 25-year rain pattern into consideration because the aim of the project is to reduce flooding. That's the basic aim of the project. So by taking the 25-year rain pattern, we know the worst rain, if it should fall, how the water is going to convey into the sea.
The major issue what we are facing is dumping of refuse into the channel by communities around it.
You have instances where people who keep some of their waste in the house just waiting for the flood, waiting for the rains to set in, and then these are thrown off. So these are some of the problems we have with the lagoon collecting a lot of trash, which must be dealt with.
When we came in, there was the 3rd June disaster, the twin disaster, the fire and the flood disaster on 3rd June. It was 6 months after the disaster. That was when we came in. That resulted in the death of so many lives in the disease. So it put, I think, the public focus on us, and it gave us an equivalent task to prevent subsequent flood and disaster of that magnitude again. So we started from Avenor, so dredging, and I think last year we have heavy downpour, but because of the work that we've done so far, we did not experience any flood in the city.
What we need to look at as a sustainable means is to re-study the inlet situations and look at amount of silt that is being transported from upstream into the Odaw within the zone that I've just talked of, so that these materials are trapped and are trapped in localized silt traps, so that we don't allow all the material, the silt, to be dispersed into the channel and build up. By so doing, we greatly reduce the conveyance capacity of the Odaw.
But then we have to do a lot of more jobs, more dredging, so that forever we bring back the channel to its original design. And after that, if we do regular maintenance dredging, this situation will be overcome forever.
We are trying to clear the rubbish and the materials from the water, but day in and day out, people keep on dumping materials in the water. So I think that habit has to be changed.
At Avenor, you see, they've built unauthorized structures along the banks of the canal where it's supposed to serve as a buffer zone. And these people, what they do is to sweep into the canal, their debris, into everything into the canal, even car bodies. You will be surprised seeing car bodies, and these heavy-duty articulated ties, even bodies, human beings, are all in the canal.
Dredge masters have done quite an enormous work. Government have been trying to get people to clean off the silt that has been built up in the channel, but that couldn't be done until dredge masters came and dredged the channel completely to the design bed of the stretch from Caprice to Abosokan, and this has rebuilt the capacity of the Odaw channel.